Well, hello, everybody out there in some form of Twitch, YouTube, stream, podcast, audio land. I don't know if there's any cool thing to say about that other than hi.
Hi. Do you think there's anybody that just reads the transcripts?
I don't know, but I could put a bunch of gibberish out there.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense and on point too. But hey, welcome back to Let's Set the Tone. Your guy here. Fanboytone. I think I'm your guy. Am I your guy? Your guy? You like your favorite host now? The most deviant host? No? We're not throwing all that out there anymore. Welcome back, though, either way, to another episode of kind of an impromptu, but I knew I wanted to stream today. I knew I wanted to put out content because I haven't.
Yeah.
And as you see, of course, impromptu content, once again, the great, the one and only Wizard of Oz, Josh from Half-Ass Beer Review.
Oh, wow. First name.
Yeah.
First name.
Yeah. Usually, what do I usually call? I just call it actually. I call you
think it's half-ass most of the time.
It's pretty funny that I do. I guess that is kind of like the nickname I go with it. It just sounds funny.
It's funny that a majority of my life, I've rarely gone by my actual name.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Me either, though. Yeah. To be fair, I mean, I guess I don't know.
Yeah. That just means me as a normal person is just boring.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Is there some lag there?
Yeah. There's some lag on YouTube.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
I'll give it a refresh.
There
we go.
We don't know how the internet's working over here.
Yeah. It doesn't.
We don't. But yeah. So hey, we we just decided to go live today. Like I said, I knew I wanted to do content. I was going to do some world according to Tone. I was going to sit, paint, do something. I just didn't think that you would be free enough to do anything tonight. I mean, granted, you wanted to go to Ohio out of nowhere.
Yeah. Hey, it's only a 4.5 hour drive. If you want to leave right now, we'll end the stream. We'll get in Blue Jean Betty, and we'll be there. What? 11 o'clock?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Well, you blew that one.
Yeah, well, no, but yeah, I kind of did.
Yeah, I know.
Well, hey, so regardless, we're sitting here. We're going to do a little bit of a hangout. We got some beers to crack. It's been a fun day. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But just generally with you, anything new you want to talk about besides, I mean, you've been kind of busy. There's not been a lot of content you've been able to push out necessarily.
Yeah, just some personal stuff I've been dealing with in life. So it's been hard to do like anything like really. I'm sitting on how many videos that I have to edit from the last time I was over here.
That's true.
And the week after that I was at home by myself. I probably have like 10 videos that I have to edit to put out.
That's nice to have that banked though.
It is. It really is. But like when I just don't have the time or there's other stuff going on and I can't get to it.
Right.
Now it's like anxiety in the other direction.
Sure.
So it's like, I have all this stuff and I can't do it. Like, shit.
Well, what's funny though is that just like in the fall time, while you weren't putting out content or into the winter and everything, you were growing. You hit that 1,000.
Yeah.
And right now you just said, I just got a couple more subscribers. It's like the nice thing about your content is because it's so easy to digest.
Oh, thank you.
That I feel like that, people are finding you or however they're getting to you, and you're just like authentically. Yeah. Or is that the right word? Not authentically. Organically.
Organically. There you go.
Close. Organs.
Vowels.
Yeah. I don't know if I can spell it, but that's crazy. That's cool. Yeah, because there definitely hasn't been. Because usually, like 3 days a week, I'm like, oh, there's the ping. Here's a new video, and it's been like, fuck, because I'm featured clearly, so I love watching the videos that I'm on.
I know you do.
I do.
I know you do.
I really do, actually. Yeah, I do. I watch them all, though. I try.
I get it.
Between 7 Dungeons and your content, I try to make sure I at least zoom through them or whatever I can do. So
watch it 2.5 times speed.
I do.
I know.
It's
fine.
It's my damn brain.
It's fine.
It's just it makes so much more sense to me.
Right. I get it.
I don't know how to explain it.
I tried to do that with an episode of Silo on Apple Plus yesterday.
Watching something?
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
It gets wild. I was like, all right, let's try 1.5. Nope, can't do that. Oh, 1.25? Nope, can't do that. Just got to watch it normal.
That's a lot of exposition to try and do that fast. Like with 7 Dungeons, like with the D&D portion of it, like you can do a little bit faster 1.25 or 1.5 because sometimes even with their exposition, it's not like it's pretty slow pace.
Yeah.
But if you're watching like a TV show like that,
you got guys that like Biddle, who he's a very slow talker.
Yeah.
So like when you put it on faster, it almost sounds like he's talking normally. So I used to do this in my podcast too. So if you take someone like I don't listen to Joe Rogan anymore, but I used to a lot. And
no, you're not, bro.
When you speed up his podcast, everything sounds normal because everyone talks so slow on that podcast because it's just like they're high and they're just droning through this material.
That's true.
But then my next podcast would be Last Podcast on the Left, and they are already like Henry Zabrowski already talks at like a little higher pitch. And they also talk faster, so it's just like, well, I gotta slow this down. I can't do it. It's like I'm starting to freak out. What the heck?
That's funny.
But it's really easy. It makes consuming content a lot easier. You're still getting all that information. It's just taking less time. Yeah, I like that.
That's what it is for me, because there's so much I need to feel like I consume. And it's funny because when I listen to Stavi's World,
right,
at 1.5,
when he laughs,
it's the wildest thing ever. Even like his intro song, like when I hear it at normal speed, I'm like, what is this? Like, it's a and I'm like, sometimes I used to listen to it fast, so in my head I'm just trained to think that's what it really is, but it's not. It's just kind of funny. But
this is wild. All right.
Yeah. It's like, oh Jesus, Stavi's laughing. Oh shit. Yeah. Exactly. So, before we fully get into what we did today, then, since you don't have a lot new fun stuff to tell me, let's crack open another one of these.
Do I have new fun stuff?
No, I don't.
Okay. Usually you tell me what new fun stuff I have.
Yeah, because somebody's got to.
We're drinking a can of strawberry M43.
Once again,
'tis the season. 420 is the official release statewide. We went down there a few days beforehand, and I bought a case of it just so I could enjoy it.
Literally about the size of this table.
Yeah, the case is close to being gone now because it's just that good. It's a great hazy India Pale Ale with great strawberry flavor added to it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
I knew it was coming.
Yep, Tim McGraw.
I knew it was coming.
Shout out Tim.
Yeah, shout out to Tim.
Yep.
Come on by anytime.
Yep. Faith Hill too.
And they're actually still together.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's crazy. What a power couple.
Tim's a good guy.
And they are. That's the reality is they are good people.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. I've never heard bad things about Tim, really.
Sometimes people, I feel like in that realm, sometimes.
Yeah, but it usually gets outed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they can't help themselves.
That SNL bit.
Yeah.
Recently.
Right.
What was that guy's name?
Oh, Morgan Wallen.
What a knucklehead!
Take me to God's country memes that come out of it.
Knucklehead. Yeah, the stuff is funny. Like, I'm not trying to go down a route of them conversations, but like, everything with him, like,
Well, we live in a world, like in a media world, I guess, where those kinds of things really take off, and it keeps you relevant. You know what I mean? It's just like just doing these little like slightly awful, not really awful, but just like ignorant things, and people are just like, oh my gosh, like look, and like people that hate the guy are talking about him. Like,
any publicity is good publicity.
Talking about somebody that you hate, like stop it.
If anybody knows that more than anybody, it's Kanye West.
Yeah, I know. And dude posted in the group chat something he said the other day, and I'm just
the
like,
other shit. Like, what is?
I was like, why are we doing this? Like, this guy is should be beyond what we're talking about,
right?
And yet, like, we just can't help ourselves.
And every other month, it's like he's got to go on Twitter and say some unhinged shit, whether it's true or not, we don't know.
Yeah,
he needs a therapist. He's needed a therapist since his mom died. Clearly.
We should be paying attention to things that give us good quality product, like Old Nation and their strawberry M43.
That's a great fucking segue from Yee to fucking strawberry M43. 'Tis the season for just. We drank one of these the other night when we were recording for the video for Michigan Brew Trail.
Yep. Yeah.
My Brew Trail. We've never. I was going to ask him today.
No, we didn't. So, but check that video out if you haven't yet. We did the awards for the MichiganBrewTrail.com, the Reader's Choice Best to Best 2024. That was a really good time. We had a good time shooting it. I had a great time editing it, and I had a good time watching it too, which I don't usually watch a lot of my content. So,
it was an actual hoot, and we'll first of all have the link down at the bottom. We'll probably talk about it again because it's part of our big stuff going on right now with us. But absolute blast to do that. Like and I was dead ass tired that day. Like, goddamn, was I tired? And we slogged through that. And I say that we really didn't slog through it. Like, we just had a blast doing it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you record what, an hour and 20 some?
Yeah, like an hour and 20 some minutes, and it came down just under half hour.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, Ed really liked it. Everybody that did see it, that knew who we were today, saw the video. It was awesome. So, we've gotten a lot of great feedback on it. And it was definitely like the editing you did with some of the bits and everything it was fun and funny. So, it's pretty awesome to be able to do that anyways. But that was a good time. But yes, we were also drinking then an M43 strawberry. I mean, it's crazy to me to think that Old Nation, who are always been known for their like IPAs, and then the strawberry variant's been going on for years now.
Yes.
And they really didn't do a ton besides there's a few other beers they were doing, I know, but then I know we've talked about it all the time. It's just wild to see the last couple of years, like
Oh yeah.
it's like they're reinventing themselves.
Yeah, and they really had to with the original M43. It was one of those things. I think it saved the brewery, just because they had beer before that, and it was good. They've always had good beer, but I mean, these New England style, these hazy IPAs were starting to take off, and they came out with the regular M43, and it just like, and you couldn't get it anywhere except Ford Field because they were buying all of it, I guess.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and even at one time they were having issues because they were getting some of it contracted out, and whoever was contract brewing it was really screwing it up. So they brought it all back home, and it's just great. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. And you're kind of seeing another life, but that has to happen with breweries.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They have to keep pushing that, or else they're just they're just gonna go away.
Well, and what was the one I had recently? Oh, the Mexican lager.
Oh yeah, that sucker was good.
Like,
with lime, with that lime in it.
I was like, listen, I love lager anyways, but holy shit, was that fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I was blown away by how delicious that was. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's another one of those ones where, like, when I'm drinking it, I'm literally picturing myself. I'm like, this is a summer beer that I could have around the campfire or whatever. Because to me, again, it had that lime that was going on with it. It was so refreshing. And it's just like, man, and every time at this point now, recently, that I've had an Old Nation beer that's not an IPA, I'm like, they're
honed in.
Yeah,
like they got it going on, and just about everything they do is just is a big hit. So,
well, as the kids say, it's a banger.
Yes, it's a banger. It slaps.
It slaps.
Yep.
It slaps. It's a banger. So, well, hey, so kind of keep with the theme of beer, anyways, and kind of what we're already kind of getting into, because that's mostly what we talk about and do is drink beers. But
yes.
So today, what did we do?
Oh, we went to the Great Lakes Beer Festival chili cook-off.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is kind of like an event to promote the Great Lakes Beer Festival that is put on by My Brew Trail, mybrewtrail.com. Let's keep the promotion bits going here.
MI Brew Trail?
Yeah, MI Brew Trail, all that stuff. But so we went there. They had 12 different people with chili made.
Different chilies, yeah.
And they had a big selection of beer.
Yeah.
And you get
it's all the ones you'd think.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, it was a good selection. I mean, a lot of Michigan beers.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You want to talk about it?
You talk for a second, okay?
Okay, I'll talk for a
I got to
second.
deal with something.
So we had a great selection of different stuff we had. Matter of fact, at the end of it, Ed sat down and asked, did you try anything new today you haven't had? Well, at first, I thought, no, I hadn't, because most everything I had in there. And then the more we sat there, I was like, wait a second, there was a couple I did, because the Pontoon one.
Yeah.
That was a shandy, right? No, that was
that
IPA.
Pontoon was a pale ale from Kickstand Brewing Company.
Kickstand, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And
So,
that's down in that area, like the Novi-ish area, maybe a little bit north.
oh, really?
I don't remember exactly where it's at, but I think a little bit north of Novi. So, because when we went down to try not Arvon, Ascension Brewing, I was also looking into that one and maybe doing that too. But then we ate a boatload of sushi and we couldn't do anything else.
Because that was the one you wanted to go to. That was the one you said, wasn't it?
That was one of them. Yep.
And then you ate a boatload of sushi. And it's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
We were. Oh, it was the Ghost Pepper Day.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yep.
Because anything I ate felt like I was gonna die.
Ghost pepper hot sauce. Yeah.
Not just a little bit.
Right.
Baby girl, not a lot, just a little bit.
Not just a little bit.
Yeah, it was a lot. So,
So we were at the chili cook-off. We had a lot of chili, a lot of good, delicious chili. It was insane how good the chili was, and a lot of good beer. So, and even at the end of it, we're sitting there and people just kept giving us their drink tickets.
Yeah, they're like,
it was getting pretty wild. I was like, what?
you look like the kind of guys that like these sort of things.
Yeah.
Like,
And then even at the bar, they're like, we're not giving any out, so just take the cans that
at the end
we
they're
can't
like,
pour
here,
anymore.
right. We got to dump these out, or you can drink them.
Yeah.
Like, well, guess I'll drink it.
So we didn't really drink a lot, but we got to try a bunch of different stuff because even the pours weren't that big.
Yeah, they were like,
but like anything else, it gets bigger as it goes. You know what I mean? The pours get a little bit bigger as it goes. So
it does get a little bit bigger as it goes.
Yep.
Well, you're gonna do. So we did content, of course, and you're gonna do a video. So be on the lookout for that too at some point in the next week.
Yeah, in the next week. I think I'll have it out.
That'll be a priority.
Yeah. Usually these beer quests are priorities, and I get them out fairly quick. So
good.
When other people are relying on me, I tend to do more work. So
or if I'm yelling at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a great time today. We really appreciate being able to hang out and be involved a little bit, and just continuing the road to the
Right.
Great Lakes Beer Festival, August 16th. We're really excited to be able to be there. And again, of course, stream and film content and hang out and just,
Right.
kind of be a part of that and have a good time with everybody. So if you are even curious or inclined or not sure or sure, please holler at us. We'll get you in the right direction. Go to GreatLakesBeerFestival.com.
Yep.
That link will be in here as well, too. Check out the details. Get a ticket.
And if you're coming in from out of town, or even if you're in the area and you plan on doing it, we plan on doing a lot of content that lets you know what else is around.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to do in that area of town, and I just can't wait to really get into it.
Yeah, and if you're having a hard time finding spots to stay, like in Midland, 20 minutes away, Saginaw, Bay City, you've got options.
Yeah.
For sure. So
and Midland's a big enough town; they have enough hotels where you shouldn't have that big of a struggle with it.
you shouldn't have.
Yeah, but you might. So,
You might.
The area is pretty filled with good spots to stay.
Yes. And then, of course, at the end of the day today, before, as we're already deciding we're going to do Let's Set the Tone today, it didn't take a lot, but at first when you said, we should go to Brinstar, get some egg rolls, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you were definitely like, we just ate a bunch of chili. And
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. Right. But then we end up going there, of course.
Well, I dropped it. I wasn't going to bring it up, and we get in the car, we start driving, and you're like, so are we going to Brinstar?
Yeah,
and I'm like, sure. Let's go.
I was waiting for you to fully make the decision as I was deciding if I was going straight or turning, so it worked out well.
Yeah, and it worked out. So we had some delicious Reuben egg rolls and Meat Lovers pizza egg rolls.
So
and a couple ice cold Coca-Colas.
It was so good.
That hit the spot.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be eating for the rest of the evening now at this point, so maybe some animal crackers.
Yeah.
But, well, hey, so I know there's a couple topics that we kind of kicked around that we want to jump into, and we may even throw down on a third one depending on time frame. I know a lot of these Let's Set the Tones tend to go way longer than I intend. I never intended to go 2 hours, 2.5, 3 once.
Right. Well, yeah, I think these are less
4,
beefy at least.
Yeah.
Like, these are more, I think, of us just kind of blowing steam off, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, I guess, yeah. So you never know with Let's Set the Tone. It's going to go, and honestly, at this point, I decided that, hey, it's not, doesn't matter. Put it on 1.5, listen to me garble even faster, and you're good to go. We at least appreciate it. So, hey, what's up, St. John's Jason? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, we missed you. It's been a while that we've had a chance to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well, sir. I did see that you tagged a deer the other day. That was unfortunate.
That's rough.
Driving, yeah, it's crazy. Even this time of year, they're still on the move. But
it doesn't matter. They're
all over. They're all over here in the state. So, well, good to see you. Good to see you, dude. So first topic we want to talk about here actually is kind of I don't know if it's a hot topic. It's always been a hot topic since day one, of the second game dropping. But you also haven't played The Last of Us game.
No, I have not.
So you're coming from a perspective of only watching the show.
Yeah.
Which there was a pretty large episode. I'm gonna put this out there right now, and I'm gonna say this loud and clear. This will be a spoiler episode.
Yes.
So if you have not seen the last episode of The Last of Us on HBO,
right,
I'm gonna give you time right now to fast forward to the next topic and then come back and visit later.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut you some slack because the social media that's out there is just littered with spoilers. That's all it is.
It always is.
And it's awful. Usually I can stay away from stuff, but this it just seems like it was so pushed out there because of the game.
A lot of people knew it was coming.
It was just like, holy crap, So I think you're pretty safe on this. I think we are.
You're probably right. Yeah. And I do at least, want to say it, but you're probably right.
It's nice to give people,
Right, because all these websites and these videos, like you're saying out there, they're not really doing that.
Right.
It's just like, you see the title. Like, I've seen the title many times, even the day after. I'm like, damn, you guys ain't giving anybody any time to... And I get it. Like, there's an argument, well, the game came out 4 years ago.
Right.
Okay, you're right, a-hole, I guess.
Yeah,
exactly. And the game was controversial from the get. Not the first one. The first one was, a successful hit. I think the second one... I know it got review bombed because of a lot of big babies, but the second one had a lot of issues initially because I think it got the videos, the cutscenes or something got leaked.
Okay.
And people knew what was happening before the game came out, so you had to be careful then too because people were being dickheads and spoiling it.
Yeah.
and it pissed a lot of people off. So
Right.
it's always had. Last of Us has since the second game come out has had like kind of a messy background.
Yeah,
But
I gotcha.
this last week, season 2, episode 2,
real
right
quick.
away.
Yep,
Which
real quick.
time wise,
Yeah.
if it was gonna happen, I figured 2,
Right.
3, but 2 would be ideal.
Yeah.
So
I honestly didn't, because like I said, spoilers were out there. I knew it was going to happen, and I just thought it was going to be pushed till later. So, yeah.
Some people did.
Right.
Some people thought maybe because we've talked about, I guess they're going to do like 3 seasons with this,
Right.
With this version of the game, which they could. There's a lot of content, and they could fill in some stuff. So, it's been fun listening to people who didn't play the game, who didn't know that this was coming.
Right.
But you had a room before the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of had an idea. You know, it's just people are getting too close to it. You know what I mean? So it's just, it was like, okay, yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen here. Like, cool.
Okay.
Cool, guys. Thanks. You know, even though it's, not a big deal. But.
So when you saw it, though, was it still like shock and awe? Go ahead and say. I'm going to let you spoil it now, since we're.
Well, okay. So
how do you want to present that? I guess.
Man, how about you? I don't know. I don't know how I like to present this. Okay, so Joel, right?
Joel.
Yep.
Main character.
Yep. Main character.
Played by.
Yep. And anybody
Pedro
that's
Pascal?
watching, they know that him and what's the other character's name? Not Ellie, but the
Dina.
No, the one that wants to find him, the doctor's daughter.
Oh, Abby.
Abby, right?
Abby.
We know they're on a collision course after the first episode, right? And so it finally, and it's surprising. It's just not having played the game. It's crazy how the interaction comes in, right? Where Abby's kind of in a tight spot. Joel, being the great guy that he is.
Oh, really?
Saves her, right?
Yeah.
Sees someone and saves her, But then they go back to this cabin where the Firefly kids or whatever, 2.0 are camped out, and chaos proceeds to happen. They take Joel and beat the hell out of him with a golf club, or Abby does, and that's when Ellie rolls up, and Abby kills Joel in front of Ellie. Now, Dina's also there, right? But they kind of knocked her out.
So they changed that a little bit from the game.
Right, because it was Tommy from what I hear.
Tommy.
Right.
He was under or whatever. Like,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Right. But from what I hear, they did that so they could give Tommy more story in the game, in the
show, because they had some other stuff going on
Right.
at the compound in Jackson or whatever that they didn't have, which was fine. I mean,
I liked what was going on.
I did too.
At the compound.
Yeah, I did
thought
too.
that was great.
yeah, I think that added more depth to.
But I also think it took away from what was going on at the cabin.
That's fair.
Because we had all this great stuff going on here. I was like, this is fantastic. And while this fantastic stuff's going on, you're trying to show this pivotal moment in the show when this, you know what I mean? Like, you're introduced to like this, whatever they call it, that big, the creature that came into the town.
Why are you doing that?
I'm sorry.
I should have known. It's right there too.
But I mean, you're introduced to this thing, and it's this. You can tell it's going to be this big moment where it's defeated. You know what I mean? And you're worried about these people that are in the town and bloater, right? And now you have this other thing that is supposed to be the biggest moment, right? People are going to lose their minds over it, but I'm already losing my mind over here.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So I think, and it kind of screws the pacing of everything.
Yeah, I think that's because I don't know if it was you maybe it was you that did say that.
Yeah.
I feel like that said that because it was almost distracting going on from what was happening up at that cabin or whatever it was, the resort with the bloater and everything. Because like that's a crazy, like you're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And then like this insane thing that's happening that nobody would ever see with a main character typically,
right?
Is happening, and it's like it almost.
Yeah. Also, some of it might have to do because Abby stated they're going to kill him slowly. Right. They emphasized slowly.
She was going to, make sure that.
And here all this crazy shit's happening, and it's not that slow.
I know.
It's not that slow.
It's not that slow.
It's just one episode.
Yeah.
It's not that slow, people. And it's not even one. It's like a quarter of the episode or a third of it, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really strange. It almost takes away from that because I just feel like that death scene, it wasn't that great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the payoff is what it should have been,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Just because of all the chaos that's happening in Jackson.
Right. Like it was almost less impactful.
Right. I think, yeah, because it was, yeah.
Which is crazy because it was pretty fucking impactful, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, it is, but it's just, it was insane. Like, I was like, okay, I think they could have done it a lot better with pacing and everything like that, how they did the show.
So the game pacing might have been much better than for you.
Probably could have been. I'll have to watch it because you can watch the cutscenes and stuff. Like,
You
watch
can
someone
find,
play. Yeah.
Fuck, they leaked them out before the game came out.
Right.
You definitely find them online.
Yeah.
And like I know it was different in the game. So like, she stabs with the broken golf club, which I don't know. It's kind of weird to go with that instead of hitting with the golf club because like she pretty much pieces him out that last hit of the golf club. So I don't know why it was like that. Seems kind of odd, but yeah, Abby is. This is where it gets, I feel like, interesting generally. But I know you want to talk about, and I do want to come back around to the reason that you with Pedro Pascal.
Oh yeah,
genuinely. But I do want to say, like, before we get to that, the reactions of people have been awesome.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And it was awesome when you knew people that were playing the game or getting into that part 2 when that first came out. But like Britt had never played the games, didn't know anything about it. So like when this is happening, she's a huge Pedro Pascal fan,
as a lot of people are.
which understandably he like literally is a great guy outside of the realm of Hollywood in general.
Yeah,
he's just a stand-up person. So he's living on the right side of history. But we're watching TV, and I got my arm up like this because she's off to the left here of the couch, so I can't. So she can't look at me or see any of my reactions.
Yeah,
because I know it's coming and coming and coming, and she's getting like irritable already over this whole thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like when Abby shoots him in the knee, which is how it started in the game.
Which was sweet. Yeah.
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 I'm just stoned. She's like, are they going to, she even asked, are they going to kill Joel? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Yeah. And I'm trying like,
yeah,
I'm like,
find out.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those watching movies where it's like, if she hasn't seen it, or she'll always be asking like, what's going to happen? Like, what's going on? Just like, watch the fucking movie.
He'll find out in 2 minutes.
Right. So she's doing all that, and I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be great. And I thought it was gonna go the other way with her. I thought she was gonna be like really sad.
Yeah.
Because Joel died.
Yeah.
But she actually went the opposite direction and was pissed, like pissed off, like about the whole situation.
Right.
And I'm that point now I'm laughing.
Yeah.
And I looked right at her and I said, whatever made you think that Joel was a great guy,
right,
or the good guy?
Yeah,
like I can understand a conversation, and he is in the certain ways he is a good guy,
right. The love that he has for Ellie,
right,
is like a fatherly love that, like, is very nice. You know what I mean? Like it makes him a very likable character. Yeah,
the daddy-daughter thing, or the carrying the stuff he's gone through, and saving her and stuff like that. But he's had since like this all started, like I think even in a post-apocalyptic world, he's been like I think was he part of the Fireflies? I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he's part of the Fireflies, but I think he was, wasn't he? Yeah, something like that, or I think there's another whole group or something or whatever. So and I get it, like in a post-apocalyptic world, you got to survive, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's kind of one of the things that you got to kind of consider. But like, we have to remember that when we were leaving that hospital or whatever the situation was, he literally, like, Ellie knew that she was probably going to have to die to be able to create a vaccine or a serum.
Yeah.
And she was fine with that.
Yeah.
She had made her choice. Yep. She wanted to do something but for the greater good.
Yeah.
But Joel, and you see it in the conversation he has in the first episode with the shrink. Yeah. He's very selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
and don't get me to understand, like, he's protective and things like that, and that's fine. And I'm not saying that's a bad trait, but like, he's pretty selfish in a lot of ways. And when he finds out that, Ellie's gonna die over this process, he murders 20 people in a fucking hospital, including one unarmed doctor.
Yeah. To be fair, everything after the doctor was self-defense.
Sure. Okay.
No. Yeah. I know.
But I mean, like, at what point do we have to throw out the shades in gray and say, hey, no, there's a line that was crossed.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it sucks, dude.
Right.
You got her here. We're doing this, but like, it's just like it comes back to consequences for your actions, cause and effect. And that's what I was trying to say to her, and she wouldn't have nothing of that. And I'm just like, sorry, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not saying that he's a villain, but I'm saying, like,
he deserved it to a point.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It came back around.
Yeah.
In some, and like, listen, when you played the video game like this, you know, and this is where a lot of people I love the first game because everybody thought he was the main character.
Right.
I don't understand at any point where everybody thought he was the main character.
Gotcha.
And maybe in my mind,
Right.
and maybe it took me through the second game or whatever to realize that he's just an old dude. Like Ellie is the main character.
Right.
The story is about her.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, if anything, as somebody who loves, because I was giving her a lot of shit, 'cause she reads a lot of books. I'm like, well, you never read a good book?
Right.
Like, what's up? And I actually said to her, I said, well, it really shows that you've never watched Game of Thrones or read Game of Thrones. I can tell you that right now. You know, but that's just it. Like, you know, he's not a great guy, and and for me, Ellie is the main character, and I know a lot of people have a hard time with that. Like, listen, I don't know, like, people want like simple stories. Like, to me, like when I even played the game, I'm like, this is crazy because it's not something you see. Like that unexpectedness is sometimes it's like why you know, watching wrestling's great.
Right.
It's telling a story.
Yeah.
Sometimes things happen a way you don't want to, and it might not be how you want it, but it's still telling a story. And if it still can shock and awe and surprise, you know, it's still, I think it's still telling a good story. Now, if it's a bad story to tell because of certain things or this, that, and the other, whether it doesn't make sense to the overall arching or whatever, but I don't know, man. Like, I feel like for me, I've never had an issue with it.
Right. I gotcha. I think sometimes we want those simplistic things, right?
We do.
Because our lives can be so complicated. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, definitely. I know. And I think to a point you think you're getting that with this. Right? Because you're getting, like, it looks for, I mean, I think by all means that he looks like he's the main character.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Or they're two main characters or whatever.
Because, I mean, it's all him saving this, you know what I mean? Like, first he's got to get her to here to save the world. You know what I mean? But then it's like, oh, wait, she can't die. I got to save her. You know? And then, you know, now we're here where we're at. And it's just like, you just took away our main guy. You know, you're my main guy. You know, like, you're my number one guy. Yeah,
my number one guy.
Yeah. So it's just, man, it's wild. It really is. But I don't not like it because of it. None of this is because I don't like it. Like, I really enjoyed it. I think, okay, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like, I really like where it's going. I like the story that's being told. And really, I mean, we're not, like I said, we are very complex. People are complex in the inner workings of what we are, the things we do. No one's 100% good or 100% bad.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? There's bad people that they love and will do anything for somebody. You know what I mean? So it's just...
There's drive. There's a characteristic that drives you or something.
Right.
There's something that, like, puts you in the play. Like, even decisions that villains make, unless you're chaotic, evil completely in the Joker,
right,
it stems from something.
Yeah. And I think the decision that he made at that hospital, a lot of people can see themselves making.
Yes.
Which kind of is that draw to him. So now, you're really just...
It's an emotional knee-jerk reaction.
Yep.
Without any actual, like, forethought.
Right.
On the consequences.
Right. But in that moment, he didn't have that time.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like, oh, I do this now or she's just gone. Right.
So so what makes that, again, interesting to me is that in storytelling sense, once like the end of the season 1, everybody just thinks, oh, he saved Elliot's, that's his new story and we're getting to a new story. You know what I mean? It's almost like people forgot that, you know, that happened, and then instantly in the second game or the second show, like, no, people know about that. You know what I mean? Because like, you killed my dad, an unarmed doctor.
Right.
So now, okay, if we're okay, like, putting ourselves in Joel's shoes, let's flip for a second.
Right.
Put your shoes in Abby's shoes. Or put yourself in Abby's shoes.
You don't have that character connection yet.
Right.
That's what people are, people don't realize. Wait.
Right. And they build that through the second game. So,
I'm pretty excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And like, I guess for me, like, I know there are people that are close to me that don't like the second game, don't like the direction. There's some other things, and I don't want to get into some of that bullshit. I think that some of that's just white noise. But, like, you know, from a story standpoint, for me, like, to me, like, again, like Game of Thrones, that's always about POV, like, storytelling. This does that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's weird that people are okay with this. All of a sudden, it's like the shock and awe over here. So I don't know. But yeah, like, again, like, when you consider Abby's perspective,
Yeah. He's the bad guy.
like, yeah, wouldn't
Yes.
like, yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah,
Like, hey, this thing was going to happen, and you just
right.
like shot him in the head.
Yeah, like
Unarmed?
you're 19 years old and somebody comes home and says your dad just got murdered at work
Right.
by some lunatic.
Yeah. I bet you he wished he really killed those nurses now.
I was only 24. I guess I should have took out one. Yeah.
2 more bullets.
Yeah,
would've
they
saved
put their
me a lot
hands
of
up in the air and I didn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like honestly, yeah, it's just complete emotion. And I think there's a deeper story too if we were to sit back and say, you know, about how we as people react to our emotions.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? And I think,
Yep.
you know, I think I just wish people would understand that a little bit more. Try to is that it's pretty layered, that whole situation.
We're also pretty guilty of thinking if we can justify our actions that there shouldn't be consequences for them.
Right. Well, that's just people in general.
We as a people, we've become very good at that.
Yeah.
So
of not being able to say, shit, I made a mistake.
Right. Yeah.
Or admitting fault
Yep,
or any of
yeah.
that. Like, that's
Right. First we justify it, and then we're like, that's why I shouldn't be in trouble, or that's why there should be no consequences.
Right. Then you try to die on that hill.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's awful because some people just don't even know how to apologize. But
I'm sorry, Tone.
it's fine. Right. So, with that being said, I'm again still excited for more of the series, whether Britt watches it or not. I know Sunday nights he's going to be there for 9:00.
Yep.
But now you've been talking about something that's a little bit, it's similar to that, but a little bit of a different perspective that I hadn't even thought about.
Right.
And it was interesting when you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because the dude made some points on it, and like I see both of it. So
Yeah. He made a very valid argument.
Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have been talking about casting issues.
Mm-hmm.
They really have. Like, they're not happy with Abby. They're not happy with Ellie. We see all the memes. They're hilarious. They're very reminiscent of the JD Vance memes. The Ellie memes are.
They
Just
are.
like they focus on the face and, you know, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I made the because I was thinking, well, wait a minute. Like, we took possibly one of the biggest actors in Hollywood right now, put him as the face of this franchise, and we offed him in episode 2 of season 2.
Right. Big old name.
This dude was carrying the show up until now. Now who is it? Now we got to lean
Bella
on
Ramsey, I guess.
Ellie and Abby, right? That's who we got to lean on. I mean, Tommy's there. Tommy's great, right? But it's just like, as a side story, it is, because we've been focusing on this duo making their progress.
Right.
So I'm not saying it can't be done, but they might have made the mistake of casting Pedro Pascal as Joel. There's other characters other people that could have done the job that he did. I guarantee it, that people wouldn't have been attached to, because like look at Britt's reaction to it. She loves the dude in general.
Yeah.
And that had a lot, and it's just like, what happened?
Yep.
You know, and I'm not saying they're going to lose viewership over it. They're probably not. It's just kind of like a take of like, they probably could have done something a little different with this.
Right.
Like, get somebody else. Like, now you just lost. I mean, he was making $600,000 an episode too, which is wild. But yeah.
So my assumption is he's probably going to be in flashbacks still. I'm guessing he's going to be
flashbacks,
around.
but you don't get paid for flashbacks because they already happened.
You know, is that really? Wow. I was
Clip it. Somebody clip it.
holy shit. Hook, line, and sinker on the middle. Like, what? Did you see me like, what?
You don't get paid for work you already did.
Right. Jesus Christ. That's funny. You got me on that one. You definitely got me on that.
Go Michigan Panthers. What's up, Julia?
Hey, what's up, Julia? Welcome. Oh, they're playing right now? Oh, shit. Yes, she's got me watching the Michigan Panthers, but clearly I still haven't learned the...
Battlehawks is a pretty sweet name.
Jesus. I'm going to take that as my new nickname. What's one of your AKAs, Tone? Battlehawk? Are you fucking kidding me?
1 minute, hon. I got to call Battlehawk.
Right.
For the weekend.
I was going to, but I was texting Battlehawk all evening. Pretty cool.
Yep.
They already have. See, I'm telling you. Well, Panthers are up. Well, the game I watched them like a week or so ago, whenever it is, I don't know where days are anymore.
Yeah.
They waffle stomped whoever they were playing. That was pretty cool. So maybe 2 weeks. Awesome. I don't fucking know, but
cool.
Yeah, cool. Anyways, so So yes, I think Pedro Pascal will be in some flashbacks or something like that, but clearly he's not going to be like carrying the flag at this point. Now the story fully shifts on Ellie and Abby as well too.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pretty much see, just like the game, you got like divergent storylines you're following, and it's staggered. So you see this and see this, and then there's times they actually kind of crisscrossed, and different things, or there was like stuff or It's actually pretty cool how the game was told like that. So like I said, I enjoyed the game. I've enjoyed the entire series. I'm still excited about this. But dude's point to that was basically you still need a guy like Pedro Pascal, because if you had somebody else, it might not have pulled in the viewers or gotten the attention or whatever it is. So even though like into season 2, you've nixed a dude. Right. You know,
and this also could be an issue with the writing, right? Because we've been leaning on Pedro so much the entire time. You haven't been able to develop these other characters to where they can be leaned on.
See, I would think with Ellie, I don't feel like it there in all, because like the whole point of the first game is him basically teaching her how to be him. Right. Yeah. And even in like the 5 years since or whatever it is, that's the, I mean, you see her now. Yeah. She's basically him.
Yeah. And she hates him because of it, really.
Right. Well, now she knows what happened to the truth of everything. Oh, yeah. So he, you know what I mean? So now she, I mean, which again, can understand why she might hate him and be pissed.
Definitely. But I mean, and we'll see with Abby. I don't, the look thing, her not being bulky, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, people were pissed.
People were real pissed
with the game that she was, and I don't really think there's a lot of white noise out there that she isn't. Just
there's a lot of people that are upset that she isn't.
Well, because people like like she kind of should be. I mean, she was practicing military. Like, I mean,
that visual stuff. I mean, I think as long as you put it out and it's good.
She's a good actress too.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah. Nothing was bad about the cabin scene. I think the only thing that was pulling away from it was just what was going on at Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
That's the only issue it had. You know what I mean? Maybe too much is a bad thing, right? Yeah, because there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't have cool shit going on while the Red Wedding was going on.
It's true.
Like that was the highlight. Cut away from that. That was the big thing.
You know, it's almost wonder if they should have done the Jackson like episode 2 and then episode 3. Right. You know, hey, we got to go do some recon after all that, you know, and then maybe that's where it runs into the way they did. I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm not a writer, but,
you know. I mean, they could have played it a little bit different.
Yeah, because the more I think about it, I do feel like it definitely takes.
Maybe send Ellie and Homie back to Jackson Hole until that got calmed down, and then they're going to go find Joel, maybe. You know, it's because slowly is about 5 hours, it seems like. Like real, if we were to look at it real life, maybe 5 hours.
Yeah.
Slowly with a golf club and a shotgun to the leg. Slowly.
Yeah.
Like, was that what it was in the game? Did it happen that quickly in the game? Because it just didn't seem like, when I hear someone say, I'm going to kill him slowly, I think this is going to be a few days.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just pretty much within a couple hours or whatever like that. I think it was like that with the game too.
Like I know killing someone quickly is quick, you know, it's a second or two, you know, but like,
hey, expert, cool.
Well, I'm not, you know, I've just watched some movies. You know?
I saw Dexter.
Yeah, I've watched Dexter. I know.
Right.
I got some plastic wrap at home.
Okay, awkward.
Yeah, no, I know. But no, I'm just, you know, it's just one of those things. I just thought it was going to be more intense. Yeah. And I also made this, I think I said this to you. It's crazy that I feel like there was more violence and more gore in the new Daredevil series than there was in that scene of The Last of Us on HBO.
Yeah, you did say that.
Like that apartment scene with Punisher and Daredevil, it was just what? You know, like I couldn't do anything else. Yeah. I just had to. I almost laughed when Punisher walked it, like came through the balcony door. I know. Like I was just like, this is on Disney Plus, and then you go over to HBO Max and you see like a lukewarm killing of Joel.
Right.
It's like, you know, like I thought they probably should have stepped it up, but they probably had no idea that, you know, this was going to be happening over at Disney Plus.
It's a funny observation. Yeah. If anything.
Yeah. Well, they're so close together. How do you not? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
You're right.
Like like she promised violence and she delivered, but like you just saw something wild a few days before, you know.
Because if somebody's going to die in any form of media, you want to see that slow death.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you you're going to be slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, psychopath, we got you.
Yeah, I know.
We hear you loud and clear.
Right. Yeah.
And you're so overall though, you're still.
Oh, I'm still on board.
You're still.
I'm on board with the series.
Okay, you're still.
You know what I mean?
okay.
Like, this is just like an observation I had that, hey, this could have been a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it could. We could see that it's a problem. Going forward, we don't know what's going to happen. But I don't think I'm happy with where it's at. Like, and it could go off without, it could go off great. We could just see a really great season ahead of us, hopefully. Because that's what we want. We don't want bad TV. No one wants bad TV.
Right. I know. I still think so. I mean, the people that are still involved are the Chernobyl people that did HBO, that series, that limited series. And you got Druckmann on and around set all the time.
Right.
And they did say there's going to be some divergences and some things in here. Little things like I think it's just little stuff like with the Jackson fight and maybe who's involved around Joel whenever that happens. But for the most part, it still feels a lot like the game. I mean, the beginning of this season, like the season 1 or episode 1, when they first showed that video game scene, that was from like an E3, like in 2019 or something. Yeah. Maybe it was 2022. I don't remember. It's been so long. And even again in the game, like it's ingrained in my head because I'll never forget it because and then you watch the HBO version of it, it's the same thing, like the lights and how they pan, the camera work and everything. It's like, damn, that's.
I have been watching a lot of those clips of like the comparison, and it's very cool to see.
Crazy.
It's very cool to see.
Well, because like a lot of the stuff that you see that comes out from other form of media or like video games in general are so awful,
right, or
watered down or whatever it is. This is a really well written story of a video game, great action, great fun to play. But to tell this the way they're doing it, I feel like it's an important thing for them to do, is to keep it that close to it.
Do you think maybe that we're seeing? So it's very possible that in a world that video games can only be told in a certain way and movies can only be told in a certain way, and they don't really. You can get them close, but there comes a point where it gets so close that it doesn't work.
I think there are some things that I think the difference with something like Last of Us is that there's very few of those, like, this works here, but this doesn't work here.
Okay.
I think that's the thing about this.
Okay.
I think
the game is very much like a movie almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're getting great cutscenes, but even the action's really good. Like the gameplay wise, it's a fun game to play. Yeah. And it's kind of survival. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it really feels like it's something that you like. You really feel like you're involved or you're part of it.
Okay.
They do a great job of that.
Another question: is season 1 more about fighting and surviving through the zombies or whatever you want it, the infected?
Yeah.
And then The Last of Us Part 2 more about people on people? Or is people on people throughout all of it?
Because it's there in season 1 with the Firefly and the Feta or FEMA or whatever it is, something like that, whatever it is, like the military group as well too. So it's in there, and you do deal with it. Like there'll be parts where you're stalking around, you got to deal with like bandits or fireflies, and then there's other areas you got to deal with both or just infected or whatever it is. Yeah. So the first game, I think it's a lot about trying to get from point A to point B to do what you got to do for Ellie or whatever it is. And it's kind of like a teaching her to like survive and be, because Joel shows her way. So yeah, it definitely feels more infected versus people. But everything else is in the background.
Okay.
But yeah, I think what makes the second one a lot different is that it's just about people kind of more versus people, and some of these people are shit. It's just like anything in life. Like, given circumstances, humanity or people, we just suck sometimes in certain situations. We make shitty decisions and we
clan up very quickly.
Right. Yeah. And we make decisions irrationally or emotionally or whatever it is, and then the consequences come later, as Joel found out. So
the hard way.
Yeah. The hard way with a fucking golf club.
Iron
golf club.
What was the brand of club on there?
I didn't look.
Was it TaylorMade? Was it Callaway? I think I'd have to go back and look.
It might have been.
I'm sure someone paid some money to get a club on there.
I mean, it would be dumb if it wasn't the Apex Predators, John Daly, like one of his brands. Like, come on, duh. Hey, what's happening, Red? Not a whole lot. Appreciate you popping in here. We're just chit-chatting a little bit, talking a little bit about Last of Us, wrapping that up, and getting into a new topic.
Yeah.
Rad Toys, great show last night. Sorry I had to bust out early. Britt had an MRI scheduled last night, so I couldn't fit. Yeah. I
Keep
left
talking. What are you doing?
money on the counter.
Oh, nice.
But a great episode with World Makers Consortium last night again. Second episode of the Death Race. Third race. I have to go back and watch the ending of that, but man, that was awesome. It's a good time. Love it. So make sure to check out Rad Toys here on YouTube as well. Definitely Friday nights, 8 p.m. Good shit. So, but let's pivot here to another topic.
Oh yeah. Another tale of humanity's woes.
You're right. And it's not one that I'm like overly educated on, I guess I should
I'm
say.
not necessarily either. I just
think
we saw an article and we're like, oh hey, why not?
Yes, I think we want to talk about this because it does affect and it has affected a lot of certain things as well too.
Yep.
So if you guys aren't aware, or if you maybe have in the sense that you've seen it as a consumer, think of maybe a chain, a restaurant chain, a national chain.
Yep.
We're talking more like big stuff too. Yep. That at one point was something you loved to go. Maybe it was a food spot. Maybe it was even just a small box retailer. Maybe
like a Quiznos.
Like a Quiznos is going to be the big one. Quiznos definitely is one of the big ones right now. I think, is it Hooters dealing with that too? Is that what that's all about?
Yeah.
Or is that just because like the culture has changed? I don't know.
I don't think the culture's changed. I think they tried to middle ground it.
Yeah.
At least, and it just isn't working out for them.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna be a not that I mean the wings are pretty good, but if you're gonna be Hooters and is it?
Sure is.
Oh man.
Because they've been going through this shit as well too recently. So
right. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So Quiznos is a great example of one of the first ones that we can think of that barely exists anymore. That used to be around. That was listen. I'm gonna preface this, and I know you're also a big fan too. Like I'm a sandwich guy. I like subs and sandwiches. I like deli meat, that sort of shit, whatever, more than I do personally. For me, like more than like a hamburger, right? Yeah. I would rather have that kind of food or sandwich. So Quiznos, we had one here in Saginaw, and I wasn't like when I used to live across town. We'd walk right to it.
Yep.
We would.
We had one in Bay City too.
Yeah, and they were awesome. Toasted subs. Yes, they were a little bit pricey. Yeah. I would say, but good quality food. Soups. Another example of me. I said it earlier. I eat soups all year round. 365. I eat soups all year. I love soup. And then Quiznos just disappeared. Yeah. And they started closing them, and I didn't even know what was going on because Quiznos, when I ever went, was always busy as fuck.
Yeah. That one hung on. The Quiznos in Saginaw hung on pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But so what's going on now with these sort of chains are these private equity firms are coming in and they're buying them. Yep. And what they're doing, if I understand this correctly, I could be wrong on this. You got an idea pulled up ready to go?
No. Okay, but I have an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with the idea.
Okay.
I think what they're doing is they're buying these companies out. Yep. And then you make it think then they I think file them for bankruptcy. Sometimes that's part of it because I know what happened with Red Lobster. Yeah. Or maybe that came first. Yep. And basically at that point, the private equity firm also owns the land they have and then leases it back to the brand.
Yeah, that's a tactic. So the private equity firm will come in, they'll buy the company, and then they will buy the land via a realtor that they also own via their private equity company, and then they will lease the land back to the not the company, but to the person who franchised the company out. So
franchise.
So not only will all the leasing, now they have leasing fees for the land that they're on, but then they also have higher franchising fees. They really start to milk them, right?
Right.
To where now it's like, oh, I could survive off of having one franchise or two franchises. Well, now I need 3 or 4 to make the kind of money that I used to be able to make. And then they make it so it's basically not a good business to run anymore, and it tanks. And then they start with the next company. They do it all over again.
Is that so they can sell the land or something too?
It's just a money making machine. That's all it is. It doesn't matter. The land is just part of it. Yeah, we can lease the land out, kind of thing. Whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's just then they move on to the next company, and the next company that we saw recently in the news, is Jersey Mike's.
And
this was a couple weeks ago, I think, that BlackRock made like the $8 billion investment into Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
And there was an article saying, oh, the CEO, they're going to stick around and be making all the decisions. Well, just yesterday, it was announced that the CEO was stepping down from Jersey Mike's.
Right.
So
I know when there was a handful of us that saw this, whatever, 6 months ago, whenever this happened, and as soon as we saw it, like my one chat blew up.
Yeah.
Like Forge Hammer, Jared, and us, like we're like, motherfucker, a private equity just bought Jersey Mike's, and like Jersey Mike's is one of the better like sub sandwich businesses that we have, or chains, or whatever you want to call them. It's probably in top 3 or 4 easily for me.
Yeah.
Subway's not in that top 3 or 4, I'll tell you that. But it's like, bro, like you're taking something, because man, like Jersey Mike's we just got one in Midland a few years ago. Now we got one in Bay City.
Yep.
They're popping up, and the first thing we're like, well, how long this has got a ticking time bomb and gone? You know, like what the fuck? So yeah, so now seeing that the CEO stepped down,
Yep.
that certainly creates a little bit more anxiety to the longevity now of Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, definitely. And this, I mean, what really hits close to home is like a lot of good restaurants that I like. Also, it's affecting a lot of breweries too. Mm-hmm. Me being the half-ass beer review guy, it's like you see it when they're making all these investments into breweries as, oh, well, like Tilray. Right, this is a truth beer consequence bit, right? Mm-hmm. It's Julia put all her investment money into, like, she cashed out her 401k, put it all into Tilray, right? Because Tilray stock's gonna go through the roof. They're like a pharmaceutical weed company, and now they're into breweries, right?
Yeah.
Well, who owns Tilray, right? It's all these private equity firms like Vanguard and stuff like that. They're just making these moves, and you see it with all these breweries. Southern Tier Brewing Company, right?
Yeah.
They used to be a phenomenal brewery. They used to do all these cool stouts. They had these really good nitro stouts with all these variations and
different
stuff. They had like a
flavors,
thin mint one. They had tiramisu, s'mores, all that stuff. Delicious. They got invested in by, I forgot what the name is of the whole conglomerate, but now it's like you can tell it's just all artificial flavors and shit. Like they just cheapened it,
the flavor,
and it sucks. You drink it and you're like, this is garbage. I don't like this anymore. What are you doing to my beer? Rich people, leave my beer. Keep this out of your scheme. If you're gonna make money on something, go ahead. Fuck with Red Lobster. You know what I mean? Leave
which
my
they really are.
beer
Yeah.
alone. I don't care if it's imitation crab, homie. I do care about my beer.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. And because I know it was a joke, but that's another good one too. Because Red Lobster, the last couple of years, remember they were going to go bankrupt.
Yeah,
and I can't remember if that was before or after they got bought by a private equity firm.
Yeah,
but they went bankrupt. You thought they were going to be done, and I was like, oh fuck. Well, it didn't. I mean, I'm like, well, who fucking? It's always been overpriced and not great seafood.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all right. Don't get me wrong.
Endless shrimp. That's the only reason to go.
That's the only reason ever really to go, right? Yeah. But and then all of a sudden, like, oh, they're bouncing back. Oh, because it's by the way, because there's a private equity involved. Yeah. And that's what's blowing my mind. Like with these private equity firms, it just shows how fucked up our entire listen, I'm not saying I'm against capitalism, but there's a reason why we need guardrails on some of this shit.
Yeah.
And regulations, some rules.
Right.
Because you shouldn't just be able to throw some money at something, buy it, sell it to your own owned like realtor leasing company, and just mill through this for a burst of money and then move on to the next one.
There should be like better business practices that you have to go by.
Yes.
Right? It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm just going to do this to crash it, because we're really not losing money.
Red Lobster's bankrupt in Canada.
See?
Brad says.
What the heck? Oh man, Canada. Come on over, Canada.
Right. Yeah. No, they don't want nothing to do with over here right now.
Yeah.
No,
I know. But it's just, Julia, I know you're Tilray you're gonna be able to retire in the next 5 years. Just keep banking on Tilray.
Yeah.
But
keep rolling.
You know, it's man, I can't understand why we're okay with these places doing that. You know what I mean? No one should be okay with it. I know there's certain people that are benefiting off of it. Right. If you're invested in if you have like a Vanguard high yield investment, you're making good money off of it.
Yeah.
Like the returns that you're getting off of dividends, they're pretty high.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I get it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, well, that's just dirty. Like you're really messing with people's livelihood when you're doing all these things. Yeah. It's like we're running business without the thought of the betterment of everybody.
Right. Well,
and it's very visible on the outside, but when you really dig deep into things like this, it's like, holy crap, this is awful.
Yeah, it's all calculated. Yeah. It's shitty. Like there's a lot of things we could talk about existentially about the way our country is right now generally, but from a just simplistic standpoint, the way that money is so like we all want it, we all need it, whatever. Unfortunately, it is part of our life, and I know sometimes people say, well, money's just a made up. It is, but unfortunately, if you want to live and survive in this life, a big portion of it you need some form of income, you know, or however you get it. But it's so sad to see that it's gotten so out of hand that this is the kind of stuff that we have to like talk about,
right?
And deal with is like private equity buying and fucking up like chains or national chains or whatever it is.
And how long has it been happening that just now it's getting so bad that everyone's
People
really
are
opening their eyes to it? You know what I mean? And then how's the tactic going to change so they can still do it?
Right. And is it ever? Like something needs to step in, or someone needs to step in and say, no, you can't just like...
Yeah,
like it's because listen, I do agree that capitalism is part of it. I understand. I'm fine with capitalism. I don't want to, I know there's arguments of, there's discussions about capitalism. I think there's some good, fair discussions.
I don't think there should be arguments against everything, because when it comes down to it, nothing works because of the shitty people that are put in charge to run it.
Right. That's
why nothing works. Right. Is because there's shitty people that end up being in charge and taking advantage of everybody underneath of them.
Right. Right.
It's why communism doesn't work. It's why capitalism doesn't work.
Right.
None of this shit works.
Some of this stuff looks great on paper.
On paper, it all looks great.
Right. But then you get somebody actually involved.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, wait, I can screw over 80% of people and make $1 billion that I'm not even going to be able to spend
$1 billion,
$800 million. You know what I mean? Just like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take it. Yeah. Why?
Right.
Why?
It's like think of the bridge
That's
situation.
That's how poor I am. I can't fathom what I would do with that much money.
Right. Right. And if you win the lotto, they take like how much percent of it anyway?
If you win $1 million, you get about $400,000 from it before you get taxed.
That's fucking
before you get taxed.
Nuts.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that on the other end though.
No, it doesn't. No, it is.
Half these motherfuckers don't even pay taxes.
Right.
At the top.
Clearly broken. It's a clearly broken way, and we do a really good job of arguing about shit that doesn't matter with each other when people are getting away with robbing us blind.
You know what's even more wild now is the amount of people that are our level,
that's right,
middle class or poor, that defend that behavior.
Yeah.
They're getting fucked hand over fist like it's Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
And they're perfectly fine defending that behavior.
Yep. Yeah. Rad brings up a really good point: is people are losing their humanity in the favor of profit.
He's right.
You know,
he's absolutely right.
And so I don't talk about these kinds of things. I don't talk about politics. A lot of these things online, I refuse to talk about them.
It's
because
dicey.
You don't get the human factor in it when you're talking online with somebody. There's a lot of people that I don't agree with on a lot of things. I see the way they post online, but when we have that conversation in person, it's a lot different. And there's a lot more of moving back and forth and seeing each other's points and kind of,
there's a lot of bravery when you're sitting behind a screen.
Right.
And I will tell you, I don't change. I'm the same. I'm the same either side of it. But
a dick no matter what.
I'm a dick no matter what. But at least I'm educated.
Julia's right too. I mean, people do. Once having kids kind of changed you. You know what I mean? Because now you got other people to look out for.
Right.
And that's just like, you want to make sure they're okay. But at some point also, and I hate saying this, I hate that I'm saying this, is they got to realize that they got to make it too on their own.
Right.
Like, you can't do everything for them. And that's what a lot of these like ultra rich people are doing, is they're just making it so the next how many generations don't have to worry about anything.
Well, again, like even to what Rad says too, is that, or even really both, like people losing their humanity in favor of profit, and people want their own paydays, don't care what happens to everybody else. That's exactly what's going on. And it's to the point where like, it's become more of the mindset. I mean, money's a big part of that. Yeah. But it's also giving, I guess, really the humanity part of it, like giving a shit about your neighbor.
Right. Yeah.
Or the people around you.
Right.
You know, it's like how a lot of things in this country, like how we said earlier, like nobody can at all anymore, for some fucking reason, take fault or take blame or apologize if you're wrong or anything. Instead, the way it's nowadays, you've drawn your line and you die on your fucking hill. Doesn't matter if you're wrong or not.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you are absolutely like off the mark or if you're blah, blah, blahing false information.
Yeah.
At this point, these people just people just double down on this shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's wild to me to be at this point. When I look back when I was in high school, and some of my history teacher, who was a huge part of my life, because, you know, at one point I wanted to be a history teacher and I wanted to be an economics minor.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like, she was somebody that inspired me. You know, we always talked about, I just, when you think about like those sort of interactions with people that you respected and looked up to, and that helped pave at one point a way that you thought you had in life, and it's like, my God, like, and if she may still be alive, I don't know. You know, it's hard to tell. Sometimes teachers don't get on social media or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, I think now, like, how would she view the world right now?
Right.
You know, this is the person that taught me about like old civilizations and American history. Like, how would she view this shit right now?
Yeah.
And that's something that like haunts me sometimes at night. Like the people like that. Yeah. You know, teachers that or people in your, doesn't have to be a teacher, it could just be somebody like my granddad, if he was still here, somebody who, he wasn't in World War II, and it was before Vietnam, but he served after World War II before, and got out before the big stuff happened. Right. You know, but his job was still after World War II for years. They searched for U-boats, for German, Nazi, whatever like that. You know, how would he react to this shit? Yeah. The way things are going right now. Like, holy shit, like, you know, it's almost like at this point, as scary as it is and nuts as it almost seems like, it's almost like if we were to rewind time, like if we took like what's going on right now and rewind time, which it kind of was in some aspects, like, and looked at it through the filter is basically trying to say, like, you know, if Germany at that time during World War II was given an actual platform to defend their perspective, that's fucking nuts. Right. Because sometimes, I know we've said it, like we talk about drawing lines in the sand. Sometimes there is a line that you can't cross.
Oh, I think a lot of people have a line. Like, again, Rad, he's talking about it's tougher to make a buck now, more tempting than ever to just sell people out. Like, there's a clear path to success. I'm not saying it's easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it involves a lot of shit that isn't good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's like, I don't know. Like, that's just...
It's shitty.
One of the fastest ways you can, I mean, it's getting harder, but is you can become a slumlord, basically. You know what I mean? You really can.
It's a commercial slumlord.
You can become a slumlord very quickly. You know what I mean? Like, at first it's slow and it's tedious. You know, it's pretty tough. But like, once that ball gets rolling, in no time you're making really good money off of treating people like shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
I was told one time the record company is going to give me lots of money and everything's going to be all right. Exactly.
Real big fish.
There you go.
That's the Bible right there. Turn the radio off. That is the Bible.
There it is. There it is. Yep.
Yeah. Another good example is Walmart, right? Look at Sam Walton, right? I haven't stepped foot to buy something in a Walmart.
I definitely don't.
Or a Sam's Club in years. No, I just say, you know what I mean? It's one of those things, you know what I mean?
I try not to.
I've had to be in there for work, you know what I mean? That's fine. I'm not making, you know what I mean? But like, that dude built that company from the ground up. Yeah. He worked with those people. He loved the people that worked for him. And what happened when he was gone? His kids took it over. They had none of the tie to those people or any of that. Now I don't know how many Walton kids there are, but it's like, all right, we need to make our money now.
It just feels soulless.
So what can we do? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to treat the employees like shit. We're going to make things as cheap as possible. Blah, blah. They do all these tactics, and now the customers don't even fucking matter to them anymore. You know what I mean? It's, we're going to blame it on people stealing. No, your store just fucking sucks. You're the problem. You're making all these problems. If you gave a quality product, it wouldn't matter.
Wasn't there a stat like almost 10 years ago or something that said that Walmart has the highest percentage of workers
on government benefits.
On like food stamps, government benefits and shit like that. Yeah. Because I'm not, clearly we're not going to get that direction. We could, but we talked about like wage disparities and how the ARC since the 70s is like, you know what I mean? Like compared to the cost of living, all that stuff. That's a whole other topic. I mean, again, as somebody who is an economics minor, like there's a lot of things that I could talk for hours on this shit and still be half-assed economics review, but I would still,
I would watch that.
You would watch that. That's right. That's right. Definitely. Maybe one of these days. Well, I know Forge Hammer's really like that's his majors, like economics or whatever. Yeah. You know, we ever get him on here, we could definitely do like a pretty deep. Yeah. So, Rad says we have a massive housing shortage. We do here in America actually too. Slumlords Slumlords are. What is that word?
Probably evicting or reno.
I think so. I think he means evicting. I think evicting. I think. Yep. And slap some pan and shit. Yeah, and that's the same thing that's happened here too. Like we have a housing shortage. Like our the housing market's awful still. Like it's high interest rates. You can't find homes. You're paying too much for them.
You're starting to see houses for lease.
Yeah.
In like really nice areas and stuff like that. And it's just a matter of time before this is like a rent world. Like that's what they're really going for.
That's what they're trying
the same
to go,
thing they're doing with these companies.
It's the private
they're
sector.
going to do with us.
Yeah, it's the private sector.
Yep.
That's what they
we
want.
got to own the land and they can just rent it off of us.
Yep. It's the private sector doing that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Scary.
Yeah, it is very scary.
And no one wants to pass a bill to stop it.
And nobody,
some people do, but no one wants to.
Problem is nobody wants to talk about it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It gets buried pretty quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fucking shitty. So.
Yep.
Like I said, there's a lot to unpack with everything that's going on right now, and we can certainly go in a lot of directions with this. But I mean, again, like it does come to the similarities with these private equities and what they're doing to like big chains and different stuff like that, and it's affecting everything. Like, and we are definitely one of those people. Like, yes, definitely support your local breweries, support your local restaurants, support your locals. Like that's big stuff. That's the important part. But there are some value in enjoying some big chains that listen, there's not a ton of fucking sandwich shops around like the Jersey Mike's or I mean we got Firehouse. That's still I think like a
who knows?
I guess who knows.
Don't even.
Yeah.
You keep talking about Fire. What do you like about Firehouse subs, son? What's your favorite sub?
I actually their meatball subs are amazing.
Oh, they're pretty good. I like the steamer.
The steamer's good. The hook and ladder's good. Last night or the night before, I got the Italian.
Okay.
It was all right. I like it because I like the Italian subs, but I know Firehouse is controversial for a lot of people because their food feels like it's toasty steamed or whatever it is. I'm a big fan. I really enjoy it. My favorite probably of those chains that are left is, if we're talking big national chains, it's probably going to be Jimmy John's or a toss-up between that and Jersey Mike's. My favorite sandwich chain that's more of a Michigan thing is Jersey Giants out of Lansing.
Okay.
That's
nice.
That's like Jersey Mike's, but it's like boar's head meat. It's locally owned.
Yep.
They sell better made chips with your food. Like it's
We got Intermission Deli if you're talking local.
Intermission Delis are pretty good, but you got to go between 11:45 and 12:15 a day to get food.
You got Wanigan's in Bay City. That's really good.
Wanigan's is really good. Oh, we got Spucky's, which I don't know if that's still open.
So who owns Firehouse Subs? Restaurant Brands International. They own Firehouse Subs. Do you know who the major shareholders of Restaurant Brands International is? It is 3G Capital Partners Ltd, a private equity firm holding approximately 87.41% of the company's equity.
Get fucked!
Yep.
Private equity.
So it's really something that you can't get away from. And I kind of want to take it.
Rad's got some more stuff going out there too.
Yeah, talk about it.
Okay, so it says the government lost track of 1.5 million illegal immigrants. Hope the election Monday goes well and we get some common sense. Fuck the liberals. I over there, like it's a little bit different, I think, too. I think they're conservatives and they're liberals, if I remember correctly, Rad. You might be able to quote me on this, are a little bit different from ours. I think ours are a little bit radical. I don't know if radical's right. Not really, radical's not a good word, but like farther left or right, I think, than yours. But Firehouse is awesome. Yeah, you had a hook and ladder. Yes, Firehouse is a pretty good spot. I'm a big fan. I got that one right next to me. The Philly steak is actually, yes, Philly steak's good. And they got a Jamaican jerk chicken that's really good, or a spicy Cajun chicken that they come around is really good.
Nice.
For sure. Yeah. So there is actually a Jersey Mike's not far from Wentzilla, Rad. So I definitely say when you're back this way next time, or fine when next time you're over here, because do you think Firehouse is good?
Jersey Mike's is pretty
Jersey
on
Mike's
par.
is.
I love the Italian, and then I also love that buffalo chicken that they have.
Do
it's
you?
a hot one. Oh, it's pretty awesome.
Some people like the Philly cheesesteaks at Jersey Mike's. I find that Philly cheesesteaks in chains aren't good. I feel like that they're better if you find like a pub or a bar and grill or somebody does them, because I just never think they live up to it. They're all the same.
More of a chopped cheese guy than I am a Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
But, you know, that is what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jersey Mike's the one my go-to is the Italian.
Yeah.
It's the Italian's my go-to when I go to Jimmy John's. It's everywhere I go. I'm a big fan of Italian style, the Jersey style Italian sub itself. So sports peppers or whatever. But
hold on, I'm going one more. I'm trying to go. I'm trying to layer here.
He's doing some Matrix shit. He's over here. He's over here doing some Matrix shit. You're going a couple layers.
Maybe not. But so 3G Capital are the owners of are the major shareholders. But A major shareholder of 3G Capital is Berkshire Hathaway, owned by Warren Buffett. So not only is these investment firms owning things, but these investment firms are also shareholders in each other. It's like it's the biggest way of them they just recycle this cash. I don't know what it is, like pulling. They're vacuuming cash.
Yeah, well, it's like it's like how the country works with us too. Like when we're given options on product and like competitor choices, they're all owned by like the same like Procter and Gamble, GE, and like all this shit.
I really want to put this out there. BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. I'm gonna do nothing to impede what you're doing out there. Never. I'll never do anything. Your secret is safe with me. Keep doing whatever it is you're gonna do.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I just don't, one of those weird things. Getting weird vibes off this conversation. So, I don't want anything to happen to me on the way home.
I guess put that out into the ether.
Yeah, it is what it is. So
we're just pointing things out, I guess.
Yeah, we're just pointing things out.
We want Josh to get home safely.
Ooh, Frank's outside Elkhart, Indiana. Fresh subs, buns, and awesome fresh tasting. That's what it is. That's probably our intermission deli or our Wanigans, man.
Probably something like that. Yeah. Those kind of spots are.
Yep.
Those are the spots.
Yeah.
Julia says Jersey Mike's club and Italian are how to do it. Not had the club because I can't stop ordering the fucking Italian. I take that back. I am a sucker for tuna salad once in a while.
Oh, okay.
I love tuna fish. And sometimes I just want a tuna salad, and Jersey Mike's has a pretty good tuna salad.
I like the roast beef at Jimmy John's. I'll go to that roast beef. I like their Cubano, and then I like that, what's it, like the Hunters or whatever, the Hunters Club maybe? That's solid.
Beach Club is one of my big go-tos there, too.
Yeah, those two are solid. But that Cubano, it's crazy, because I get the Cubano, and I look at it, I'm like, there's not a lot to this.
Yeah.
Like, they probably skimp on some of the
flavor,
but
though.
It's so good,
there's
I can't stop.
Flavor, I know.
Just the pickles, the mustard, the bacon, the ham. It's a very modified Cuban.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty tasty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've had it a couple times, but it's the Italian for me.
Yep. Yeah.
They got a great tuna salad too at Jimmy John's.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Red says best food does come from mom and pop restaurants.
Yeah, it does.
That's why I'm such a super fan of places that we got locally here as well. So I go to Timbers once a week now. Yeah, Brain Stars, Junction.
Even our Tonys, I mean, they're pretty much, they get a lot of stuff shipped in.
Yeah.
But, you go to some of them, and it's pretty small. You can tell it's modified, but, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a small owned chain.
Just go to a small town. If you go to any small town and there's a restaurant, good chance.
You see it down, it's probably slapping.
And you got to get the hot beef sandwich. Whenever you go to a small town restaurant, they have a hot beef sandwich. It's just white bread, beef, and they cover that sucker in gravy. It's a life-changing experience every single time.
Right.
Dude, my feet swell up from the sodium,
like ours today from all the chili.
And I walk a little different for the next 2 days. But man, I'm in heaven for that.
Look like literally got Donald Duck
3 minutes that I'm consuming that plate of food.
Right. Rad says tuna gross tone. Thought we were friends, dude. I get that half the time from people. I love to. I see it. I'm going to address it in a second. Yeah. I love seafood, any form, especially if it's the raw or the better. I eat tuna fish almost every day, man. I love this shit. Banter and Babble, aka the Dude 79, was at JJ's tonight. I know he didn't have the muffalata, so you can suck my dirty chili filled anus tonight because you did not try it. Fuck off. The pizza spot near Zilla's is dope. Forgot the name. I think he's talking about B&C Pizza.
Oh,
Rad, was it a circle?
Like tavern style? Like cutting squares? Yeah,
tavern style. Like cutting little squares and little triangles.
The true Chicago style.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody's ever said that.
Everyone says that.
No, it's not. Everybody knows it's Gino's East, deep
That's
dish.
bullshit for tourists.
No, it's not.
Yes,
no, it's
it
not.
is.
Nobody says tavern style.
Oh, yes, it is.
Drastin pulled you up on
Mr.
that.
Ohio in Indiana is saying he knows what
Iowa.
Yeah, okay.
No,
okay.
no.
I know people
listen,
in Chicago.
Chicago style's
you're a tourist and they're going to bring you to
Chicago style's always been my favorite. Always
the tavern. It's great.
Favorite.
It's delicious. The crust is amazing. The square cuts, I love it.
Man, thin crust is okay once in a while.
Dude,
I know you're a fucking weirdo.
No, I'm
you're
not.
You're a fucking weirdo. You're a fucking weirdo.
One of the majority. I am the silent majority when it comes to Chicago pizza.
This guy over here, the voice of the voiceless.
Hey,
tavern pizza's really nobody.
Speaking
says
of Chicago,
that.
Right? He knows. We should.
Yeah, the second city
DM him
real
quick.
Fuck him. piece of shit.
Dang, dude. Okay.
Fuck CM Punk. Fuck you. Fuck Tavern Pizza. All of that. I got, yeah. So Rad says, yeah, he got one on the way back to his hotel and snacked on it for 2 days. It was only a small. Yeah, dude. That BNC pizzas, man. Because we got one here in town too.
Yep.
They are so fucking. But the problem is, like, you gotta take out a small loan to get them. I mean, it's fine, but because they pile on the.
Oh
the
yeah, it's
toppings.
good. You
The
look
crust
at
is
when
like
you get it out
paper.
for the first time, you're like, what did I get?
Right, but it's so delicious. It's a sweet sauce. It's so delicious. They're absolutely amazing.
See, Julia, this is our argument. Is Tone thinks that
lasagna
the Chicago
bullshit.
style is like the deep dish that looks like lasagna, right? Where I've been doing my own personal
He ain't
research.
doing shit. Get this fucking shit out of here.
And it's a tavern style with like the thin crust.
Fuck off.
And it's square cut and it's very delicious. It's one of my favorite styles of pizza, actually.
It's a great listen, all pizzas and I love Detroit style. I'm from Michigan, and like my love for Chicago is just a skosh higher than Detroit.
Yep.
And on a given day, it might be Detroit.
Right.
But I will be goddamned if I ever said tavern style is actually the true Chicago style.
But you're not from Chicago.
For 50 some years, when have you ever seen a tavern style? Chicago style pizza, and it's.
You're right, because we've just been outsiders looking in. Now that the world's a lot smaller, we have this thing called
People fight.
TikTok.
No,
The Chicagoans can speak their truth.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
TikTok. Wow. Because everybody's so fucking well informed on that one.
I'm not saying informed. I'm just saying the people from Chicago, they have a voice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now, anybody that has a phone has a voice. We are reaching true democracy here when it comes to what the true Chicago-style pizza is, and we all know it's tavern.
Oh, my God.
You just don't want to admit it, and that's fine. You can live in that world.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The lasagna bit I've heard for so long as well too. So Julia, I'm happy that you call it lasagna. It's delicious fucking pie. Because you're a pizza pie. It's a good way of looking at it being a pie.
Yeah.
No.
Like, outside of Chicago.
Fucking ridiculous.
I like Rad. He goes, I waited 40 minutes, so I smoked a big fatty. It tasted even better. We had a similar experience in Sharonville with Domino's.
Oh my God.
It was pretty.
Was that when we drank the rest of that drink?
Yeah, we split a drink.
We split that fucking
and
drink.
You were in the bathroom, and I was feeling the drink. And I go,
and we had just ate them pastrami sandwiches not long before. Like,
huge sandwiches.
Huge pastrami sandwiches.
I'm looking online.
Drank all this beer.
Domino's is the only thing open, and I get a New York style from Domino's. Oh,
fuck.
Drastin has something for us?
That motherfucker. So, and actually, I got something to say to Julie. I'm gonna bring it up now since he can't get it out of his mouth. Rad says he drove through downtown Chicago. There are a fuck ton of pizza shops. Yeah, because everybody loves the deep dish Chicago style pizza with the sauce on top, the delicious buttery crust.
No, they don't.
Like a pizza pie needs to be.
It's a tourist bit.
I made him drink a Buzzball when he was here.
Oh God!
I made him drink a Buzzball.
Your Buzzball obsession is so strange. It is. It's
15%.
Yeah, I know you're going for quantity over quality.
I'm just trying to hit the.
What do you think it would be?
I'm just trying to hit the buzz, man. Listen, the thing about drinking that's great and not so great is that sometimes I'm trying to hit a buzz.
Yeah.
So the Buzzball.
Trying to hit some balls too.
Listen,
and some dicks, Julia.
How fast is the DeLorean got to hit before it can actually travel in time?
88 miles per hour, baby.
Okay, well, that's what the Buzzball is.
Unless you don't have the flux capacitor.
Right, you got to use the train.
Are you saying Buzzball is the flux capacitor to the alcohol world?
To the buzz.
To the buzz?
Yeah, it's the flux. Yeah,
Buzzball is the
Buzzball is the flux capacitor to my fucking buzz.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it's there for, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to go back to fucking 1956?
Right.
Drink a Buzzball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's awful.
Fuck off, McFly. Fuck you, McFly. Yeah. So speaking of Drastin, I'm excited that he got to hang out with you guys today.
We're jealous of all the pretzel beer that he got to drink. I was trying to get Tone. It was probably about 5 times today. I go, Tone, let's go. We can make it. And he just kept saying no. Like we'd be on our way home right now.
No, we fucking would. We'd still be on the way there. I know he was talking about how Bonnie, they want to do some D&D stuff. But Julie, what I was telling you, I know I was alluding to the other day, because I thought Drastin was going to bring it up to you, but I'm going to bring it up now, is that we would like to plan some time to do outside of that, do that D&D live with him or whatever. But we want to do an online sometime D&D like on a Saturday night, like just a one shot with like Brent, me, Josh, you, and Marco. And Drastin can DM, and maybe we'll get somebody else in there too. I always drag Brittany to that stuff because she loves that stuff. Yeah. But and we can do one on like an online session, record it, roll it live, whatever, and just to be able to like all of us kind of hang out even online and just fucking game it up. You know,
yeah.
We got like we'll do it on video. You can use like a phone or you can use like a webcam or something like that. But we think that'd be a blast to do sometime. So Julia, so you know, that's the plan. You got to do it. If you don't want to, you're not. That's it.
Yeah, I like that
proposal. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Next time your sister, she says you got to try pour of Sam Adams Utopias.
Oh God.
28% beer.
Yeah, that's like the $150 beer bottle. It looks like a lamp from Aladdin. I've never gone hunting for it, but it's like it's released once a year.
Arabian Days.
It's one of those things. It's just
more often than not, or hotter than hot.
150 kilometers per hour.
Ways.
I wish that they would do that. That would be awesome if for like countries that use the metric system, they reshot scenes using the metric system.
Like putting a little graphic over it or something like that. Yeah. Lasers and feelings. We talked about it today, but lasers and feelings.
Oh man, I love them both. I love my feelings and I love my lasers for feelings.
We do. I love cats and lasers and like poachers. Yeah. Rad said, so if I showed you Unleash the Archers yet, you get mad when I show you music either way, but that's cool to know. I did not know that, Rad. I'm going to look for those D&D streams. If you ever get a chance, you need to check out Monday night for our boys over at Seven Dungeons to do some D&D streams. I know we're all busy doing content. It's hard to catch up with everybody, but
definitely.
It's pretty fun to do as well, too, and catch up. Maybe that's something we can do, too. Maybe we get Rad and Zilla and some of us do some D&D.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. The more the merrier. I mean, I love playing with people.
Yeah, you know. Well, the one shots are great because, especially if you've never played D&D, it's a good like way to introduce. So you get a feel if like you want to play it or do it again or whatever it is. And I'll roll up a fucking character every time to do it. But
I think I'm comfortable enough with using. I want to use a voice now when I play. So
always got to. I mean, you don't always have to, but it's fun to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to do bits. You know what I mean? Like have like a personality, but like. Throw that extra little layer on and have like a voice too. It can be similar to what you do now. You can just do something funny with it, but you know,
I think so.
Yeah, cool.
All right, you want to play some D&D or what's
that? Sure, let's go right now.
Fair enough. We could probably do that. We got some plans. So, I guess really we kind of definitely went on a tangent or two, but I mean I expect that with us. So,
how long have we been going?
About an hour and a half.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it is pretty good.
What can we talk about that lasts another 3 hours? No,
right, I know. Well, we'll talk about it on the drive down to Cincy.
Yeah, there we go.
She says Lasers and Feelings is the one-shot D&D campaign. Oh, okay. His kids plays on occasion. Yeah, I think Marco, because I get the vibe Marco's not really a gamer.
I don't know.
Is he, Julia? Because I know Julia kind of is.
I don't put that kind of stuff on people, so.
What the fuck, man? Fuck off.
You know what assuming does, Tone?
Yeah, it makes me look an asshole.
Yep, just you.
All right. Well, either way.
Yeah, but no, I think Marco has the personality for it.
Yes.
I would. I mean, you both do, so. Yeah.
Well, I know she's a pretty big fucking nerd.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's
she says and does
mean,
things that.
Sorry, Julia.
No, it's a good kind of mean.
It's a good kind of mean.
Oh, Julie knows Unleash the Archers. I've listened to him twice today because when I went to pick you up and on the way back.
Oh, cool. You didn't listen to anything. Oh, you don't listen to music when I'm in the car.
Well, we were talking.
Oh, okay. All right.
We were talking because when I listened to Unleash the Archers, I cranked it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm like...
Between Nickelback plays, it's...
Shut the fuck up. Speaking of which, Rad, as a Canadian yourself, what are your feelings on Nickelback? I think I know his feelings on Nickelback, actually. Marco is not, but he's up to try a game or two. He absolutely has the personality for it. Yes, he does. And I think his sarcastic, somewhat dryish, like humor sense is perfect for a D&D one shot.
He could just be Marco in a
campaign, and it would be hilarious. So we talked to him about it, Julia. We would love to do an online session sometime. Like I said, continue doing like what you may do like with Drastin down there. But if we got an online session, Drastin, of course, we'd make DM because that's what we do is make him DM everything. Well, he is
That's his whole like personality.
He is the dungeon
Without
master.
DMing, he's nothing.
He is, and without us finding him things to DM, he is also nothing.
Yeah, that's how he runs his household, is by DMing. So it's really crazy to experience.
It is pretty awkward, his interactions with his wife over it, but
rolling to take a shower is just crazy. Like I rolled a 2 last time, and it was the coldest shower I think I've ever taken.
Right.
Upside down.
I rolled the 1, and I had to pee outside.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I had to watch you because I rolled I rolled a 20 on perception. It was weird.
Fucking pervert.
No, I didn't want to. It's how I rolled.
We don't say that name. So yeah, see, Rad says they don't say that name in the house. They don't talk. So good.
Yeah.
Dimagol, Nickelback makes all of us Canadians look bad.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
I appreciate that because it's ammo for me, everybody. Because I get.
You also got Sum 41, right? Sum 41's pretty cool. Are they Canadian?
Cool. Yeah, maybe.
Well, I know he dated Avril Lavigne.
At least the Archers is Canadian and they're gnarly.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know.
OMG, LOL.
Well, we appreciate everybody also being active in the chat tonight.
Yeah, this is pretty wild.
It's kind of made it a little bit more exciting than usual for us because sometimes I don't know if I ever going to record these because I know it's kind of hard when we sometimes have the conversations, but you guys have actually added some great layer to the conversation, I think, as well too.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
we talked about some heavy stuff. You know,
we did, and we got pretty heated as well.
Yeah.
So that was his wife's comment. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
so
AJ there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I think we're gonna kind of start to bring it home, as we always do. This time, no crazy ass questions, but I do want to at least, of course, again, thank everybody for popping in for this very impromptu and random Let's Set the Tone. We've had a great day again. If you weren't around for the beginning, we were involved in a chili cook-off and craft beer hangout today event for the Great Lakes Beer Festival, which is coming up here August 16th, and we're excited about. But make sure, of course, just a couple shout outs for all y'all. We got to make sure you're all checking Monday nights for 7 Dungeons for 7 p.m. for D&D goodness. They are really deep into their campaign of Shadow Sparks Chronicles. They just hit Campaign 2, Episode 100 was this last Monday. So congratulations to those folks. They did a giveaway, which I won. It's gnarly. Won a sweet action figure. I'm excited about it. But make sure to catch up with them. It's great stuff. Hopefully we can plan some more events with them. I know we're going to probably work something with Koi's again sometime in the future. And it sounds like he's working on some stuff, hopefully down there with Third Eye, which would be really awesome. And
I'd show up for.
Yeah. And of course, Truth Beer Consequences. Make sure you guys got to check those folks out as well on either, Spotify, YouTube, or any, streaming platform of your choice for the best Cincinnati beer wrap up, bear poking. The way you say it's so nice and perfect now. But
I really do. And also all of your Tilray investment needs, Julie is the professional.
Right. Make sure to check them out. It's a lot of fun. They take the podcasts and the different things from the area of Cincinnati with craft beer, and they critique it in a very fun way.
And like us, a huge fan of dicks. So
yeah, they also love dicks. Lots of dicks. All the dicks you can put in your mouth.
Dicks. I need to order more dicks because I ran through my box again.
One bag out. Yeah. One bag of dicks left now. So
choked down my last bag of salty dicks. So
yeah. The last bag of spicy dicks is
God,
hanging on. Good. They're so good. I need the barbecue.
I keep bouncing around for my favorite.
I know. I do too. Yeah. I do too. Make sure to check out on every Friday night, 8 p.m. right here on YouTube for Rad Toys Galaxies hosting the World Makers Consortium. Death Race has been going on the last few weeks. Yours truly may or may not have had a hand in writing the rules for that D6 fun and goodness, but man, it's an hour of fun every Friday night. I look forward to it. Usually I'm drinking a beer, clowning off in the chat. Everybody in that community is really awesome. So make sure to check them out. Even if you're not into the toy collecting world, it doesn't fucking matter. It's a lot of fun. It really is. So make sure to check him out as well too. And you'll find all these links as this comes out. I'll have all the links in there for everybody too. And instead of me normally talking about you, why don't you talk about yourself for a second?
No, me?
Yeah.
Oh. I am Josh of Half-Assed Beer Review. It is just that. It is me half-assedly reviewing beers and half-assedly only doing beer reviews, so I like to do a whole bunch of stuff. I love food. I love lamp. I love beer, and I like going places with these bozos. I like playing D&D. I don't talk about a lot of it, but a lot of it is beer. But I throw some other stuff in there too. I have a really good time with it. I do not take myself seriously whatsoever. I am not a professional beer taster. I get a lot of stuff wrong, and I just like doing what I do, and I like the interaction with people. I like meeting new friends like Tone, like Drastin, like Julia, like Marco, and even people that we met today. So it's been a great ride so far. Check out the content, subscribe to the channel if you want, give it a like, leave some comments. You don't have to do any of that. You can watch from secret, and I'm okay with that because who cares? None of this matters. It's all a simulation, and we're not even real.
Fucking right. And yes, we had a great time today. A shout out again to Ed, Michigan Brew Trail, Great Lakes Beer Festival. Let us be involved and being partners with that and continuing that forward as well. Some exciting stuff. And thank you. Shout out again to Ed for that case of M43 that you gave me today.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Well, we can share some of that, of course. But,
I get it.
just a great time today. All those I'm going to be drinking. Probably not tonight though. But as far as B&B, make sure to keep checking out the dude. He is streaming some really good new games right now. That Outpost 33, I think it is, or something like that.
Right.
I don't know the fucking name. I keep getting it wrong. Make sure to peep that. It's a awesome new RPG that dropped this week that we've been anticipating. Is it Claire Obscure Expedition 33? That's a great name. That's a fucking...
If there were a name that made me want to play a game, it would be that.
Mouthful, yeah. And any other game streams coming out too. And then keep an eye out for any other content we got coming out, whether it's the World According to Tone hobbyist content, Outpost 93J, of course, on Instagram. I will have... I just tried the new 2 Faygo flavors. Whenever you see this, those may be out in reels and shorts as well. I did a quick review on each one of those, or at least just a sample tasting of them. Good stuff. If it's Faygo, always got to be giving a thumbs up. So, and then lastly, as always, we just want to continue to say August 16th seems like a far enough away, but it really isn't. And we're really excited for the Great Lakes Beer Festival coming this August, that Saturday on the 16th. We will be there live streaming, filming content, getting some D-reel.
Drinking some beer.
And drinking some beer and hanging out.
Yep.
So if you are interested, check out GreatLakesBeerFestival.com. Get tickets, check out details. Plenty of hotels around in Midland. Plenty of hotels over here in this area, only 20 minutes away as well. So if you've got nothing going on then, come see us. Come hang out. Let's drink some beer.
Yes.
Let's have a good time.
Yes.
It's a blast.
Yes.
And we really appreciate the partnership and being able to be involved. So thank you once again to Michigan Brew Trail, Ed, and everybody involved. I think that's going to do it. Does that do it?
That does it.
That's a mouthful. That was a lot of stuff.
That's a lot.
That's
too much.
Yeah. That's a... No, it's not. And yes, Oblivion Remaster is out right now, and everybody's been playing that. So keep enjoying your games, but I think you're supposed to keep your...
Fridges full. And have a great night.
Have a great night.
I'm still working on that one.
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, okay. I could take it or leave it.
Okay.
Full. My fridge.
Your fridge. Well, keep your toys posed and your boxes dusted. This is another episode of Let's Set the Tone, Banter and Babble. We'll see you all really soon.
Peace.